Hello and welcome everybody to the League of Europe. Here, Division 4, we're here for the penultimate round of the season in Las Vegas. And we're going to be in there for a spectacle of a race, actually a spectacle of an environment around. I'll give you a step and take you through it. And it's the penultimate round, so we could very well get a championship decision. As Major Falcon will only need, and I'm going to fact check on this, he only needs 2 points to close the deal here today. With an attendance of 15, this should be doable. But you never know what can happen. James Head is still in the fight. 199 points for him compared to Major Falcon's 250. So he's going to really need to pull something from the bag here. Would he want to find a way into, championship contention still? And even then, there's still another race coming up behind as well. Being Brazil next week. So we're going to see if James can do anything about that. And we're going to load in here. Obviously, 15 drivers means it's a bit easier maybe to navigate around this circuit. It's a very difficult and technical track, combined with a lot of long straights, as we can see on the map here. And yeah, we'll see in just a second how that is going to go. We're just going to have a quick run through the standings. As mentioned, the first two are there, but there's still some positions up for grabs behind that as well. Energetics is on 167, but with a bit of a weaker run. Bosnia on 158 and Steban on 149 really look like they could grab some points up here. And Ghost 72 UK after his win in both the sprint and the full race last time out in Kota, being on a very good run, could be up for some solid points himself here as well. Then Joe Victor, who's absolutely disappeared, so he should not even be included, honestly. 103 together with California, also on 103. Harry Newark on 85, Mr. Purr on 78, and then Flip Namtram technically running at the top 10, then 67 points. And also goes Recon, who's had a few good races, 2 podiums now in a row. So he looks like he could maybe still jump into the top 10. We'll have to see about that. And we're going to see if this is going to be an exciting race. Obviously, as I said, a very difficult track here in Las Vegas, especially this corner, where Energetics is the first out on track is coming up towards. I absolutely despise this corner. It's so difficult, but it's so important as well. It's the long straight. I can't emphasize long enough. It's so important around this track, and we'll see low downforce setups because of that as well. Maybe we can get a quick track map up. It's new for me as well, so I'm not too certain on any corner numbers constantly. But we're going to go on board with Energetics, who just almost went straight on for that chicane, proving it to be so difficult here. And I think we have found a track map, so we're going to go on board then towards turn 1 here. And the double left-hander of 1 and 2 actually, basically. They like to add corners in for no reason at times. We go on board with the McLaren. Very difficult corner on traction. We're seeing the McLaren being very tentative on the throttle there. Hits the wall on the inside of 3 and 4. Once again, I don't know why that's a double corner, because it's not. It's basically just 1 and 2. We go then towards a difficult braking zone already into turn 5. 90-degree right into 11, and a very difficult braking zone once again into 7, because you can move while you brake. A bit comparable to Bahrain turn 10, 9 and 10. So we had for 7, 8 and 9, just accelerating out of 9. We're going to go a long full throttle section into 10 and 11. The right of 10, all full throttle. This is where Lando Norris crashed on the right. Let's see, hope it doesn't go the same for Energetics. And he takes it very easy into turn 12. As I said, a corner I absolutely despise. And getting a little kink of turn 13 apparently here. Which you get a little bit less, but look how long this straight is. It's, I think, over 2 kilometers if I'm not mistaken. DRS obviously open. Go 72 UK is already crashed out for turn 4, so he's going to be starting from the back, as well as Mr. Furrow, who's going to be starting from the back row. So he has a qualifying ban, so that's that. It's a pretty tidy chicane there for energetics, to be fair. And we're going to see what lap time that's going to bring in. And I expect the gaps here around this circuit to be huge. I don't think we'll see many close battles, but I could be wrong. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Other than that, seeing Axel go here as Ibos put in a 36.6, it's not too bad. Axel coming across the line 33.5, improves on energetics this time quite a bit. James is just in behind the 10th, so maybe my statement's been made redundant immediately. As then Mr. Perez is going to make his way into the pit. We're seeing the Aston Martins, predominantly Bosnia out on track. Obviously, driven a fantastic season here, and Major Falcon looking set on for the title. As Bosnia put himself in between that 10th, between Axel and James Ed. But Stevan, who's absolutely been one of the quickest ones throughout the season, but that's a very quick time of 32.7. I think he'll be happy with that. Swipe at 34.1, puts himself into P5. And go to one of the Red Bulls, which would be Hanoark, but he's invalid on the mediums. He heads through turn 14, 15, and 16. We have a turbo chicane. The inside curb of turn 14 is a bit dangerous, so we're might see some people struggle with that. Go on board with California. He just about goes around it. You can kind of take the one on 15 a lot more if you do it right. And then 16 should be flat, but it can spike some overs there, so things to keep an eye out on. California puts himself into P5 with a 33.9, and Energetic spikes himself up into the timesheet table as well. So yeah, puts in a proper lap this time. I reckon he wasn't on ERS the last time out. But he's on a 32.8, and that's just under a 10th behind Steban, so I don't think he'll be too unhappy with that. Goes Recon, the American. Let's see if he can continue his good form recently. So he comes across the line here as well. Solid time into P3, just ahead of his teammate. I don't think he'll be too unhappy about that one. He goes a bit deep into Serum 1, but it might be just to let the Haas through there, with Namsram just starting a lap. I'm going to go with Hanoark then, as he heads through turn 12. Big oversteer moment, and you see how close you get to that wall immediately. If you are just even the slightest bit off line. I haven't seen the issues that could make for certain drivers as well. Hanoark, see 110.9 for Ghost Recon around here. 111.3 on mediums is then not bad. We're going to see if that continues down in towards the chicane here. As he can go over the curb, and it just unsettles the car a little bit here and there. Big slide on 16 as well, and it just proves how difficult that exit is. As the Red Bull comes across the line now. And a 133.8, you see he's lost a little bit of time there as well. But compared to Ghost Recon's not too bad just yet. We just have two outliers right now. But that might change, obviously. We can have a quick look at Flip Namsram, who's just going to start a lap. Obviously, he's still on this straight. He's ever during a straight. Generally think it's way too long for an F1 circuit, but I thought the Baku one was already. So, we're going to see how the Haas, the Dutchman of Flip Namsram does it. Takes that curve, and that's exactly what you mean. You can actually take it. Isn't too bad. So he's coming down towards, what is basically a final corner, turn 17. And then towards turn 1 here, the curve on the outside tends to send you a little bit wide. So you could see some drivers struggle with the braking into there. As Flip Namsram is coming through turn 3 and 4 there, DRS open for the first time. And DRS on, so he is actually pushing this up. And then towards turn 5 now, difficult brake zone into the 90-degree corner, second, third gear, hits the wall on the exit, and he goes off the throttle. He's not happy about that one. Might have some damage, potentially as well, but we can't see. Yeah, not ideal that exit. I've seen the bit of a Ferrari livery. I think it was there last week as well, but I'm not too sure about that. I like it quite a bit. Not bad livery. Seen worse. Just gonna keep scrolling through till we get someone who's on a lap. Obviously, pretty long lap, 6 kilometers, making it the second longest track on the calendar, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe third. I'm not sure how it compares to Jeddah. Obviously, Spa being the longest. So yeah, we're gonna have not that many laps, 25 laps. So comparably, there's not a lot, and obviously because a lot of this is full throttle high speed, the race should go by pretty quickly. We're gonna see our championship leader, Major Falcon, and heading down towards turn 1. Let's see how he's gonna go. Let's go on board with him. Down to second gear here, and straight up to fourth, trying to get the traction on, getting very close to the wall there. You see it's like a slight bit, but that's not too bad. So DRS is on for the German, down towards turn 5. Again, look at the speed they're creating here, 340 kilometers an hour before you hit the brakes. That's Monza level of just straight lines there. He steps away from the wall a little bit, trying to straighten up this braking zone. And down towards second gear into turn 8 and turn 9 here. And third gear on the exit of turn 9 then. And the first sector split, which is in the game still here for some reason, with a 44 flat, not being a bad split time whatsoever. I think we're going to see the quality of the championship leader come out here as he heads down into turn 12, third gear, quite nicely. On the throttle once again, and we're going to see how this is going to compare. So DRS opens at around 300 kilometers an hour. And we're going to see him get very close towards the rev limiters, obviously. Even in the race, we could see some drivers just get on the rev limiter. Here we're seeing speeds around 350. I saw them spike up a little bit. And heading down towards the final chicane, third gear, fourth gear on the exit here, fifth. This looks pretty tidy, and I think we could be on for a very good lap here for Major Falcon, as he's going to head down towards the final corner and across the line. And yeah, a 32.2 is a pretty damn good lap. Half a second quicker than Esteban, and I think everyone will be seeing, yeah, that's going to be tough to beat tonight. Great lap there from Major Falcon to start out his session with. Look at Ibo, he's just finishing his lap. 37.2, not improving. I'm going to look just in behind, seeing Swip starting a lap. Bosnia, I think, is on the lap as well. 4.5 tenths up, it hits the wall there. Might still be up on this time though. He seems to be eager to continue, revving out the gears all the way. And across the line, the Bosnian goes into P4. Solid time there. Energetic slightly down on his time, so unless he has a lot of time to find in this last chicane, you could see no improvement for the McLaren. We've seen him veer to the left, so I don't think he's gonna finish that. California might be able in this time, solid-ish first lap, but definitely some improvements to once if he wants to go. And what's the pit entry line going to the pits? James Heads, how about him? He needs to do something should he want to win the title. I think he knows it's going to be difficult, but a solid time there, 32.5. Puts him at least into striking range with the Aston Martin. And I can feel like he's somewhat close, I guess. Looking at Ibo as well, still Swift on the lap as well. And it might be the more competitive one, so let's see. He's heading onto this bridge, which is the sector 2 split time. 2 tenths up he is, so he could get himself ahead of California, maybe even further. Heads over the curb, a lot of curve on that left-hander. I'm gonna see if that still makes for an improvement or not for the Mercedes. Solid result out of Kota last time. I think he got either 5th or 6th. I know the Mercedes boys go 5th and 6th. And here we see a 33.7 being posted by the Mercedes, as the 8th place will do for him for now. I'm gonna look around. Sinful's also on that out lap, as well as Flip who's on another lap after breaking his wing earlier, I think, or at least hitting the wall. Let's see what he can do. He's not posted a valid time yet, and the 44.4 is not awful. 4 tenths off the German in P1, so if he can keep consistent potentially with him in these sections, but he goes a bit deep at turn 12 there. Might compromise his time quite a bit. Gonna see how this is gonna go for the rest of the session. We've seen Harner work up front as well, but he just, I think, let James head through. I think he's just about to start the lap, so let's go on board with Flip. 10.6 is not bad though, so could be on for a solid time. He takes the curb there at turn 15, and looks solid enough. I think he can get himself into the 32s potentially. Could be close. 30 31, 32, yeah, 32.7 actually. Put himself in the P3, solid time there for Flip now. I still think there's some time left, because that turn 12 wasn't optimized, I don't think. Looking at Sinful as well on a lap. Mercedes, see if he can get himself close to his teammates as he heads into turn 12. Doesn't like to be burning all of his ERS, unless I'm mistaken, with just a percentage being that low that early in the lap. No, he could be. I'm not too sure. His team is obviously getting out of the way. You can see the speed difference here. 352 kilometers an hour along the side, all the way down into third gear, and he goes straight on. He's absolutely just missed it on the brakes, I think. Gone straight on and put himself in the wall. Which means we have 3 people who are not going to set any time here. Oh, that's tough luck there for the Mercedes. So Flip is on a lap without any ERS. That's going to be very difficult to beat. He was already a 10th down, so I highly doubt he would beat this. And yeah, 2.5 tenths, and he's only going to lose more and more down the straight. He's still keeping a solid speed up, to be honest. But I doubt it's it. And ooh, big moment there as well, so he's going to abandon that very quickly, I think. Seeing goes Recon, is he just about to start a lap? Or no, he was on a lap, I think, but might have made a mistake. He's using ERS though, which is a peculiar decision, if he was actually down on his time by that much, which does seem like it. So you might want to get off the ERS to try and save some. Is my recommendation anyway. If you have a look at Steban, he's just started a lap, come through turn 1 and 2. Obviously pit exit is a pretty difficult spot. I'm going to see if Steban can improve on his 32.7. Hopefully set pretty early on, so there's definitely a chance for him to still improve. And obviously a track where you can improve quite a lot throughout just driving more and more. First gear into here, get a bit deep, but just about avoids the wall. And heading into this small little Mickey Mouse section almost, that's what I'd like to call it. Into turn 9, this is definitely the slowest part of the track. Accelerating out of here, the Alpine, in good form, 4 tenths up. That could be fairly close actually to Major Falcon. We might have some time left in this last bit. Down into third gear, a bit deep, but seems to keep some momentum going, which could help him in the long run. Let's see how the split time is going to be in Sector 2. DRS open still. Obviously, we only got like a minute remaining, so everyone's already out for the last runs. Steban only a 10th up, because Recon has retired from the session, that will be in the pit lane. We're going to see if Steban can gain some time in the last bit of the track. He hits the curb a little bit too much potentially. And this could be tough for him to actually improve. We're going to see if he does. See, Alpine goes across the line last corner here. And a 32.8 is not an improvement, so that's unfortunate for him because he's not going to have enough time to go again. Axel on the other hand does improve, 33.1. Esteban has retired from the session here. Hope that wasn't on track. Might have just crashed out, I'm not too sure. California, on the lap, just about to start. One of the Red Bulls has gone back in with his high noir. He's done for the session, so we're going to see Flood Downstream is the last one to start the lap. James Head is 6.5 tenths up. Is that going to retain away? 7 tenths almost here. Could be on for 31. Let's see. Braking late into this last sector. Bit early, but still keeps momentum going. Hits the wall slightly on the exit, but it doesn't seem to harm him that much. And the line's out, and Flip Downstream is too late. We're going to see if James can get here pole position. 31.8 is a fantastic time here. We're going to see how do these Aston Martins compare. 32.8 for Bosnia. Major Falcon is done. This looks like a pole position for James Head. Energetic 3 tenths up, unless he's gained along the last sector. That's not going to be a threat, but he could get himself up into P3 potentially. 32.5, yeah, P3 it is. And we're going to have a quick look around. Axel is done, Swift is done. California, 8.5 tenths up, could be on for a solid time, but I think pole position is going to go to James Head here. Bit of a surprise for me. third gear here for the Williams, and accelerating out of it, 15 and 16. We're going to see the Williams across the line for the last time here. And will it be enough? Maybe up towards P7. Okay, solid time just ahead of Axel. And yeah, right about where I expect him. So James had the Major Falcon, proving why they're the protagonist in this. And putting out a fantastic qualifying performance, especially with James. That is not something I was expecting. But he proved me wrong. And takes pole position by 4 tenths ahead of Major Falcon. So this case is again 3 tenths ahead of Energetic. So big field spread there. In behind's a bit close. A half second separating down towards Axel. And Ghost Recon is just behind that as well. So we do have some closeness in the midfield, but it looks like the top two are a little bit clear here today. Let's bring you through the results then of this Las Vegas qualifying here today in Division 4. James Head is in pole position ahead of Major Falcon with a Dutch second row and Energetics and Flip. It's Steban in P5 and Bosnia in P6 having to make their way up. California P7 and the 12 Romeos in P8 and P9 with Swip rounding out the top 10. Harry Newark not getting a valid lap in on the sauce. Potential was there, I think, to get at least into the top 7. But P11 it will be for him alongside Ibo with Go72 UK and Sinful crashing out early. And Mr. Purr having a qualifying ban. We're going to have 3 drives. So we've not set a time and not been able to drive a lot. Start this race in the last couple positions, in 13th down to 15th. Obviously, a little reminder that James does need to gain basically every possible point should he want to win. I think he needs the 25 now and Major Falcon to not finish. Or be 13th down to 15th, not get any points anyway. And then he still has a chance of winning the championship on comeback. But that will be a very, very difficult task to even achieve that position. So we're going to see. But if Major Falcon finishes this race in 11th or higher, he definitely has the championship. And 12 if James doesn't get a fast lap point and wins. So let's see how this is going to go. So we're loading in. Strategy-wise, we could be in for quite an interesting one. As the tires have a very short lifespan around here. Which opens up the opportunity for 2 stops here. Actually, I should say correctly. We could be in for a few different ones. Because, well, they don't really have a short lifespan, but they drop off very quickly. I think that's the right way to say it. And when they drop off hard. So you can imagine with the low amount of grip you already have here, that could be very difficult. And we're seeing some splits because of that. A few guys in the hards, with James at P1 doing that. As well as Flip, Steban and Bosnia from P4 down to P6. Goes Recon from P9 and goes 72 UK from P13. All starting on the hardest compound of tire. Majority is on mediums, the rest I haven't mentioned, except for Ibo, who in P12 is gonna go for the softest compound. So I reckon Major Falcon Energetic from 2nd and 3rd will be looking to get into the lead and try and get a little bit of a gap. They're gonna have to do it quick, because the mediums do drop off quickly. The hards aren't a quick tire, but they are a durable tire. And that could benefit them. Actually, on this track with a section that is just straight, honestly, for right about a minute from the exit of this turn 12 all the way down towards turn 5. That is basically all straight, and you have very little possibility to actually heat up the tires. If you're quite low on the tire pressures, I think there could be a little bit of a problem with trying to get them to heat, especially even in the hards. We're going to see if drivers are going to be struggling with that. It should just about be enough, but it can be difficult going into, just difficult braking zones of turn 1, turn 14, and not knowing exactly if the tire grip is going to be there. So We're going to see how they're going to cope with that. James, from the start, we're going to have to see if he can capitalize on this pole position. We've seen a few times this season that he's not managed to do that and dropped a few positions off the start. So we're going to see if he can, at least keep himself in the top 3. I think that's where he wants to aim to be after lap 1. And with a lot of overtaking opportunities, that's going to be difficult. But we'll see. So line up towards the grid. I'm going to see who gets away the best here. At Las Vegas, a little bit of a twist in the last bit. For the drivers at the back, they'll be starting a little bit differently. Major Falcon getting disqualified, meaning he'll be starting a little bit further back. But we're talking margins that aren't to be seen too much with the eye, right about a meter. And we're going to see it's a bit of a weird camera angle we're starting with, but we'll run with it as the lights are going to come on pretty soon here. As we can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights. And away we go. Who's going to be away the best? I think James has a pretty solid start there, but Energetic closing up on him. Major Falcon has sped it on, and he's going to go into turn 1 contact between Energetics and James Head, though. I was a bit puzzled there. Looks like Energetic just went a little bit too deep on the brakes, and he's down into 15th and around. The two Aston Martins benefiting off of this, and they're into 1st and 2nd. And Flip Namstrom also passed James already, with California trying to pressure as well. Going deep is James Head, and he's going to go further on, and he's going to have to reverse and get back on that way. You've seen Mr. Puro as well going deep. I've seen that these braking zones are so difficult to get right. Have a quick look at the position changes here, as we have a freezing time penalty for Axel for corner cutting, which will be around the turn 8, turn 9 section. Position changes, we have Bosnia gaining a bunch, 4 positions up already. Swip as well, 4 up. Sinful as well, due to some guys behind not really coping that well. Swip going a bit deep there, and seeing how difficult that exit is. 3 seconds for Ibo there as well. I think he's got turn 12. And Major Falcon is going to be happy with this lead. I think the gaps aren't exactly correct, so take them as they are. As you can see, and the leaders are really skewed. But from lap 3 onwards, we'll get them correct. Have a quick look at Swip. I think it's gone straight on there as well. The two Alfa Romeos are side by side. How's this going to end? They're still ending up side by side. But Gus Regan gets the better of him. California is going to go through on Flip Namstrom as they go side by side into the last corner. 40.6 of the fastest lap for Major Falcon. Back up the inside goes Flip Namstrom. Very deep. Very difficult to get that power down, as the track is still low on grip. We've seen Harry Noir get through, and his fellow countrymen of Axel side by side coming through 3 and 4, taking quite a wide line, but looks to get the better exit there. Energetic back up to P10, so he's kind of doing what he needs to do. James that definitely isn't, and then the P13, his championship hopes look very, very slim. And we're going to see, again, this braking zone is so difficult. Major Falcon's already taken so much of a lead. Look how consistent he's driving. And Bosnia is already quite a ways off the back on the hards, obviously. But also just the fact, I think Major Falcon is driving very well. California on the mediums is doing pretty well as well. After they got past Flip Namstrom. But Flip is still in the back here. And we're going to see him try and go for a move. I think Ghost Recon is going past Steban, who's struggling here as well. Flip has gone back past California, and California is struggling, but he's going to tuck back into the slipstream. And he might have a chance back down towards turn 14. Is he? Not quite. We're going to look further back. Actually, is he? He has a look, but isn't going for it. Kind of work. Axel still side by side down towards turn 14. Axel I think gone a bit deep, trying to leave each other enough space, but I think the kind of work could leave much more than that. Sinful looked like he went nearly straight on there. And Go 72 UK and Axel fighting each other as well. And we're going to have a quick look at the fastest lap differences, because there we see 36.9. Bosnia is, keeping the pace decently there. Axel going very deep, and Ibo is going to get involved. He's actually past James. That's quite impressive. With Swip and Mr. Burrow fighting each other, not knowing where to brake, seemingly. Gonna go back towards the fight for P3. California is closing up behind Flip, but not quite able to do it. Steven is waiting as well with Ghost Recon in front. The American going a little bit deep into his home Grand Prix. First one of the season now, actually. But that's going to be a hectic opening phase for now. And Energetics and Sinful are in, and they might have got some damage. Energetics onto hards now, and Sinful onto mediums. I'm noticing that Bosnia isn't lose that much to Major Falcon here right now, considering he's on the hearts. I think he's doing alright for himself. Let's see if he can challenge his teammate for a race win potentially. I don't think he's had one this season yet. He's been very consistently up there. Never really got the definitive race win. We're seeing this DRS come into play now though. As Steven is going to go through on Ghost Recon. California is closing up on Flip as well on the braking. Who's going to come out ahead here? As they head down towards turn 14 and 15, Flip backs out of that one and thinks better of it. I guess then the P4 Ghost Recon, I think, has gone either straight on or has lost his wing potentially. I'm not too sure what's happened. He's lead at the moment and he's down to P9. Steven has now got a gap with Ghost 72UK, Harnenwark and Axel all fighting it out. It's going to be 3 wide down towards turn 1. Harnenwark backs out of that one. Ghost is deepest on the brakes and he's into P6. Solid there for the Brit. The two Greeks have a chance to come back down towards turn 5. Obviously another DRS zone here. And who's going to get the better here? I think Ghost of the UK has just got enough of a gap to hold back Axel. He's going to have a look, but has to wait out. You can just see how much these drivers are struggling with trying to guess where the other is going to brake. That's very difficult. Zibbo is letting through some people here. Yeah, just a very difficult track in general. So we have a 5 second time penalty for Ghost 72 UK for corner cutting. That seemed, unless he just full and went straight, I'm not too sure how that happened. But I'm guessing it's some sort of that, because otherwise, who knows? And Ghost Recon back on the back of Hardenwark. Obviously, he had a bit of a moment, but his face seems pretty solid so far. He's going to go back towards the fight for P3 as Flip is going back past California. And you can see the power of the DRS here. Power of the DRS for Ghost Recon as well, and for Axel, as Axel is getting back past Ghost 72 UK. Ghost Recon is ahead of Hardenwark. Now both Alfa Romeos making moves. Ghost Recon going very deep, which may allow Hardenwark and James Head, who's already caught up to this, get back in on this. California, is he going to go for a move once again down towards turn 1, or he's going to back out of it? Flip goes very deep though, and that's going to open the door fully for California. And Flip has gone off track and has spun, kept it out of the wall just about. And now he's waiting for everyone to go through, like the sportsmanship from him on that era, but he's going to be down in 10th. And yeah, gonna have some games to do. You can just see how difficult all these drivers are having. I've seen at least half the grid have a big moment already, and we're only on the beginning of lap 5, so yeah, it's not the easiest track in the world, and it kind of deceives you in how much it allows you to push. And it just shows here all around as Mr. Furrow as well gone deep at turn 5, having to back out and get behind his teammate of Ibbo in P12. Have a look here. Axel goes 72 UK, goes Recon, James Head and Heinewark. Heinewark, I think, letting him through. I don't know how else you'd overtake there. Unless James Head got that good of an exit of turn 9, as that goes 72 UK and Axel are swapping positions. But that could be swapped back. Axel doesn't have DRS though, so that could be difficult. It goes Recon get in on this, as he has got DRS and he's closing in on both of them with switching with DRS. Look how much speed, 362 km/h. That's absolutely ridiculous. And late on the brakes, he's past his teammate, who passed 2 people at the started straight. So goes into the UK having another moment. Seeing the Red Bulls close up here. James Head behind the Greek of Axel. And then towards turn 1 he might have a shot here. Let's see, Axel kind of going defensive, but I'm not too sure what he's doing. Ghost Recon going deep there, allows Axel to creep underneath. It's going to be very difficult to squeeze him into turn 2 and turn 3. More yellows to then hit, going straight on at turn 14 with a VSC. And who's going to get ahead here? The Alfa Romeos are kind of arguing between themselves. Who is? I'm not too sure who is. because Recon is gonna come ahead, and Flip has decided to take the time to pit, or he might have already been pitting. But he's on a fresh set of mediums. Let's see how far he's behind the leader. Around 37 seconds under VSC conditions, meaning he could have a big jump back up. Then Jetix has gone into the pits as well. And DRS is back enabled. He's lost his wing fully, so it might have been understandable. I think Bosnia has done a pretty solid job here so far. 3.8 seconds behind Major Falcon, and a bit less now. And on the harder tire, there is still a chance for him, I think, to challenge the German for a race win here. California doing very well as well in P3. Just kind of driving in the middle of nowhere after Flip's one. Where obviously we're only lap 6, could change all, as we're seeing all the Alfa Romeos getting involved. The Alpines are going to get involved with each other, but Ghost is waiting for it. James has got past Axel in this as well, as one of the Alpines has gone straight on, and we might have some damage for someone up ahead there. I'm not too sure. Half is Ghost and half is not. Ghost into the UK is out of the race, and we have a safety car. I think that on Ghost of DCU UK, I should specify, as we see a bunch of drivers going into the pit. I think Ghost 72 UK lost it, then was ghosted on his screen, or on the Ghost Recon screen, I should say. And then Ghost 72 UK screen, he wasn't. I'm sure it has to be something around that. And I just got hit in that case, but that's kind of what it looked like. We're seeing a bunch of different strategy choices, everyone going in for fresh tires. As even Flip is in for fresh tires. That is a bit of a strange one for me. I've seen different choices though. I think Flip might go onto hards. That's the only wreck. Yeah, but he's going onto old hards. Not sure about that one. It might work, it might not. Safe Scarf is on the right hand side waiting there for the leader, who just was ahead, I think. I think it was 2 or 3 seconds later, or earlier, that the safety car came out. We might have had a very interesting situation here, but everyone's going to get the chance to pit, at least. I'm going to see if everyone does. And the Jetix has gone in again as well. But yeah, of these guys that have pitted, we've seen Steban has gone to the mediums, James has gone on to softs, Ghost Recon has gone on to mediums, Hernemark onto hards, Swip onto softs, Axel, Ibo, Sinful onto hards, Mr. Purr onto softs, Flip and Energetics going onto hards. So yeah, quite a mix in strategy here. Hernemark being the first one to go onto the hard tire. Could make it to the end, but they will be quite bad. Whereas Steban and James will probably get the freedom to push out a bit more, and it goes Recon as well on that. In terms of who went from what tire, I know James went from hard to soft, Steban went from hard to medium. Could it be possible to drive it out on mediums? Maybe. It's, again, 18 laps, it's very long. But it's not impossible. I think the soft runners, you could say, have to pit again. There's no question about that one. So California has jumped Bosnia in the pits because of the double stack here, which is not too surprising, I think. Yeah, very interesting developments in this. We're only on lap 8. Major Falcon's obviously not going to be too happy about this because it brings people back into range, and he got a decent gap for himself. So seeing Flip go back into the pits. Let's see what tire that's going to be for him. He's going to go back into mediums. Yep, fresh set of mediums put on for him. I guess his tires will be fresher now. Hasn't lost any track position, did it? But he could have been on up there with one lap older mediums that he currently has. Potentially in at least P8, P9. I'm not too sure where he exactly would have been, but I don't know. I don't fully understand his goal. We're gonna have to see. He'll be on the basically the best tires to the grid now, so at least he's along with the softs, I guess. The softs don't really last that long. The mediums could. I'm not saying they are, but in certain scenarios, higher tire pressures, potentially they could. It's a bit of a weird one because the strategy can be split in so many ways, and especially with safety guards going on, yeah, there's a lot of different options that could work. And it's just how comfortable you are at the track, really, with which tire and which setup, maybe as well. So, I think we're just gonna wait for Flip and Energetics to catch back up, and then we should go maybe the end of lap 9, potentially end of lap 10. I reckon it'll be end of lap 9. As we're seeing, Flip and Energetics are off the back here. They're gonna have to catch up a little bit. I think trying to preserve their tires as well. It will be interesting to see if Major Falcon and California can hold on to these positions. Which is gonna be difficult for both of them. Obviously being on the worst tire with less tire heating as well. I think it could be very difficult for them, as Harnoark has got a 5-second penalty for colliding with Ghost Recon. Not ideal. He can maybe get that removed should he not pit again. If it was some sort of lag, we know like Grace versus America in terms of connection is not great, but he does have work from wing damage. I think I saw his right end plate missing. And that yeah, could harm him quite a ways. If we're gonna go in this lap, we're gonna see it at the Sector 2 split line. And that should be right about now. And not everyone is caught up, I think. And that's why it's not doing it. I'm not sure why it isn't. In my opinion, it could have, I think. But we're gonna go one more lap. No, we are going to go this lap. That's very, very late. Major Falcon's going to have to really slow this down. To not overtake the safety car in his own right either. That's a very weird car. I think because there were gaps in between people in the train, it kind of misdone what it should do. Anyway, we're going to go back in the way, and Major Falcon's got a good restart here. Harnoark has gone into the pits and trying to get his wing changed. You're going to see Steban, Ghost Recon, and James that all go at it in turn 1 and 2. James had losing a position on the softs. And the American getting through into P5 now. Got Steban in front of him. Major Falcon using a lot of ERS, I think, to try and get rid of California. California also using his ERS to stay with him. James and Swift very close together here, down towards turn 5. Staying pretty close there. But all in all, not too many havocs at the restart. See Major Falcon extend his gap quite a bit though. Bosnia is going to have to really catch up with his mediums. I think he's running quite low wings though, Bosnia, from what I've seen so far. And yeah, you just see him gaining and gaining. And I think Major Falcon here might be using a little bit. Goes Recon right on the back of Steban into turn 12. Obviously difficult corner, both Ferraris down at it. Into that corner, and Ibo and Mr. Purse going to hold up this train a little bit with Flip Namsram coming alongside Ibo as well as Sinful and Energetics. And I think Ibo is going to drop back towards the back of this train. See some fights maybe towards the midfield and the front. Flip going past Mr. Purse as well. The Ferrari getting under pressure from Sinful and Energetics. Ibo backing off fully. I'm going to see multiple cars go at it into this corner. Mr. Purse is going to come out to P10 there. Sinful and Energetics wanted to get by as well. You have to see that spins out a lot of ERS burns. We're going to see Major Falcon go up towards a 35.8. And Bosnia is now fully putting the pressure on California. 86% of ERS still versus 57. So I think we're going to see Bosnia go for a move pretty soon. He's going to have to, as we see a big moment in the background for Ghost Recon, and it's going to let James Head go by. And he's back at P5, and the American is going to have to back off into this corner. James very late on the brakes there, just about gets the stop. He's done quite well to do that. Sinful Energetic still in the train here, little for P11, P12. We're going to see Bosnia right on the back of California. Major Falcon's gap to P2 is already 2 seconds. And we see Max Verstappen-esque antics here for the Aston Martin. But maybe even better than Max did in Las Vegas, to be honest. On the exit here, I think Bosnia is easily going to get him. Much better exit on those mediums. And I think California is going to have to give this one up for the time being. Bosnia's going to steal him by pretty easily. You can see a bit further back goes Regan, slows him back up towards James Head. Down the inside he goes down towards turn 14. Side by side into here is difficult. He's going to give it up. I think James is giving it up. Goes Regan go very deep. Just makes it stick. Well, fair play to him. Good move there for the Alfa Romeo. Swift just about hanging onto this train on his soft tires. That's pretty good from him. You can see DRS being enabled. Obviously the difference on the trays are going to be much bigger now. But I think Bosnia is want to survive this one and then try and get through. Mr. Pearl's already in again. It's very early off his softs. He might have some damage. We're going to have a quick look. And yeah, he definitely has a 5 seconds as well served there. As we see this train for P2 still intact, but for how much longer? Because Bosnia, so on those mediums, this is the section that he can gain now. It doesn't quite do that. It's maintaining around 2 seconds. We have a 3-second time penalty for Stevan for corner cutting as well. So maybe this just straight line advantage for Bosnia that he needs to benefit from. Set in then towards turn 12 once again. And Bosnia's broken that 1 second gap to California, which leaves the Williams under pressure from not only Steven, but I think goes Rican as well. So if yellow flags from Mr. Puro going straight on the turn 5. Steven is going to get past California here. And pretty easily there. Goes Rican going to benefit of this as well. Yes, he is. Look at the gaining speed. Absolutely sails past him. And into P4 just about he goes. James and Swift having dropped off a little bit in this lap. Soft's not a great race tire. Knows from my own experience. In the meantime, Bosnia's gained a lot for this last bit of the track. And not as much through the first part. So I think Bosnia's wings are pretty low. That's my estimate. Flip I think has got past Axel in the meantime as well. He's in the P8s. Using those mediums to his best advantage. We're going to have to see if the mediums can go towards the end or not. That goes the same for Bosnia, Steban and goes Recon. I think we can pretty certainly say that Swip and James is going to pit again. So Axel going to come back at Swip. He's going to think better of it. Sit behind for now. The Alfa Romeo in P9. With a bit of a gap down towards Energetic and Sinful in P10 and 11. Big moment from the Dutchman as we go on board with him. And yeah, not going as it planned. He had a pretty solid qualifying, but beyond that, it's not a great race for him so far. Gonna see Major Falcon. And his gap is already down to 1.2, 1.3, 1.2 on the exit. And I think Bosnia using quite a bit off that exit. Trying to get in the DRS, he didn't manage to. And Steven is going to attack him. That could harm their chances altogether. I don't think he's close enough actually, so he might need to wait here the Alpine. But they're in that gap now, and we're seeing just how much. Ooh, Steven going very deep though. Just about compromises. He's lucky that goes Regan wasn't further or closer, because yeah, that wasn't great on the brakes there for the Alpine. But they're all in the DRS now of Major Falcon, having closed that gap. And Bosnia, yeah, as I said, his wings are low, and that's going to benefit him in the last sector. James Head has gone into the pits from his softs, and we're going to probably see mediums being strapped on, and that is exactly the case for the Red Bull. Where is he going to come out? And he close to Steamer, having Steamers with that wing change is going to be a bit further back. Bosnia is closing up to his teammate here. Could be an interesting battle as we see this little train being very close together as well. Goes Rick and California, both behind Steban. And Axel and Swip very close together. So Swip has been passed by Flip. And the solve's not working out for the Dutchman in the Mercedes so far. And we're going to have a quick look. James is in P12. He is around 22 seconds behind. That means he's going to have to gain around 2 seconds a lap to really benefit off of this. Which could be the case, but we're going to see if it actually is going to work. Goes Recon right on the back. He's going to dive it up the inside. That is not a corner to dive it. I'm sorry, that kind of was deserved. He's going to have DRS though, and that's going to benefit California and himself. We see yellow flag. Swip is out of the race, and we have a safety car. As Bosnia and Major Falcon were just alongside each other. Major Falcon's going to have to keep that position for now. But I think Swip might have just gone deep and snatched his wheel off there. And that's going to put him down with no points here today for the Mercedes. Let's see who's going to pit here in this second safety car. Major Falcon looks like he wants to get into the pits, as well as Bosnia. And Bosnia is going to have to back this up, and this is not quite allowed. Steban goes by him, and that is exactly allowed to do, because we saw Sebastian Vettel do it, you know. So I think everyone we can expect almost into the pits. Fresh tyres on. Apart from James here, who will obviously be trying to get as many positions here as possible, and hope for as many double sacks as possible. Major Falcon obviously going to maintain the lead. James says he's jumping quite a few positions here potentially. He's up at the P3. He's already gained that much of the outlap. He's ahead of California. And we have one outlier in the grid here, and it's Axel who's gone onto the softest compounds. Everyone else onto mediums. Yeah, James put himself back into a good position here, obviously behind Steven, who has a penalty. There's an opportunity for some solid points for the Red Bull as well. Maybe he's got a chance to really put it at Major Falcon here this race. Definitely an opportunity for him. And he seems eager to. This Axel's past Energetics, who's just absolutely gone straight on. As we have a migrating host, that's not ideal, because that can cause lobby glitches. We're gonna hope that doesn't occur, but since we're behind the safety car, I'm not too certain. I've seen it happen in other races. So we're just gonna hope and pray that it's all gonna be okay, but that's not ideal. Yeah, the order right now, Bosnia's lost quite a bit out of that double stack, as he's down into P6. The order right now, Major Falcon ahead of Steban, then it's James California, goes Recon in P5, then it's Bosnia is 6th, as mentioned. Flip down is 7th, getting his way back up, and now Axel in P8 on the soft. Sinful, Energetics running at the top 10, then Ibo, Harnewark and Mr. Purr, the last ones alive. As Flip is getting alongside Bosnia here. That is not what's meant to be. He's just gone past. Why exactly has he gone past is my question. That looked peculiar. I'm not too sure why Flip went past there on the safety car. The Axel's gone back into the pits, maybe getting off his soft tire. As I think at the end of this lap we should go back in. And yeah, Axel going onto mediums, Ibo as well. Haven't got in, I think. I'm not too certain. Ibo's, yeah, he has gone in onto first mediums. Am I wrong? I'm not too sure what's going on there because there's gaps all over the place. Harnewark's dropped like 6 seconds behind for some reason. Behind Sinful. This is all driving I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what I'm watching here exactly. Because everyone seems to be an AI. This is all very AI movements. Major Falcon still seems to be driving, but every single one of these is AI level movements. I don't know if I'm watching the actual race anymore. Let's see what's gonna happen exactly. Just all these wheel movements, they don't make sense. I know, I've spent a lot of time in this game, I've seen AI movements. Major Falcons seem alright, but the rest is just... even then, Major Falcons don't seem fully up to it. We have a safety car in this lap, but if this is gonna continue on like this, I don't know if I'm actually in the right lobby. Major Falcon seems to be fine. Yeah, look at this. Look how they're all in this exact same line. That doesn't make sense. Harnoark is here as well. So he's weaving properly. But yeah, this is an AI stunt. I'm convinced of it. There might be still a race going on normally, but I can't judge this. This is not a race I can... This is so clearly AI movement. Let me see if Harnoark is actually seeing this. I know a few of you guys might be listening to the stream. I'm not exactly sure what I'm seeing here. I don't think Harnoark sees what I'm seeing, because he's completely driving through people, which is like... He would not react this way, I think. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I apologize. This looks very AI motivated. Uh, just trying to figure out what's going on here. I'm not too sure. Okay. Ghost is not in the lobby. I think it might be fine on their end, which is the important thing, but that just means we can't quite cover this race right now. I'm gonna see if I can leave the lobby and rejoin. That's gonna be my take of action here. Hopefully, it allows me to. Gotta love code masters, don't we? It's gonna load back in. Let me see if I can find someone else's game attack or an earlier invite that I can use. I can't find an earlier invite, so I'm gonna see if I can join for anyone else. I won't request join because I will. Mess it up, I reckon, but I don't want to mess it up for the drivers. What if it is alright going now? So I think unfortunately I'm the only one to see it. I think that might be the issue here. It might just be on my end because no one in the drivers has said anything apart from Go70 UK, who already was out of the race and left the lobby. So I'm just gonna hope that for all the drivers that they can still race fine. For them it's not an issue, but for me, I mean, I can commentate on two drivers driving around and the rest of them acting as AI. So yeah, we're gonna. I'll see if we can find a way to get in the lobby. Hopefully, there's still a way to do that. I'm gonna try for. Actually, okay, I'm gonna close the stream. If I get back, I get back. If not, we'll just do that. I apologize. Yeah, I can't make much of it.